Here we are at Fort Larned, Kansas. We'll take a look around this historic fort and check out these buildings and see what we can learn. Do you know that this fort, October of 1859, because of rising conflicts between American Indians and westward travelers on the Santa Fe Trail, the U.S. Army built a military post to protect and maintain peaceful relations. First called Camp Alert, then in 1860, the fort was moved 3 miles further west. At this location, the Army constructed sod and adobe buildings. Then, between 1866 and 1868, the government replaced the original sod and adobe buildings of Fort Larned with more durable stone and timber buildings. It served as an important defensive military outpost until 1878. Like the railroad as it was being built. So, very beautiful area. Say we go in this first building here. And see what we can learn together. Wow. I believe this is sandstone. So I'm not sure. Oh well, check this out. Can't make out the name, but I do see 1899 there. So we can find any more dates on this sandstone where people have carved their names. Probably soldiers that used to be here. All right, let's go inside and take a look. Oh, this is locked. This is Lieutenant Bell. The Army constantly rotated both units and officers after the Civil War. In its short 19-year history, a total of 270 officers were assigned to Fort Larned. There were 10 officers per month in 1868 alone. So this is where officer would stay. Got a scabbard over there. His bed. American flag draped. The foot of his bed. His cover. Like an old potbelly stove. Second Lieutenant Bond F. Bell. Alrighty. Check this out. Captain Nicholas Nolan led Company A, 10th U.S. Cavalry to Fort Larned in April 1867. This was the first regular Army African American unit ever assigned to field duty and the only black unit stationed here. This looks like probably his office and parlor area. There's a writing desk. Wow. This was the transient room. This is just for people passing through, like officials or officers that were not permanently assigned to the fort. Check out that old saddle over there. It's pretty cool. Those beds were small back then. Oh, here's the well. Go over here and take a look. It's filled in, but still pretty neat. Here we are on the other end of the building. There's a little raccoon skin, some Native American shields. It's like a spear. Well, I think that might be a buffalo or bison hide. Says the junior officers who traveled to frontier military posts discovered a world of vastly different from far more settled areas in the East. Lieutenant John Thompson was fascinated by Plains Indian culture and collected Native American belongings for mementos. So living the good life. Yeah, definitely. It's like a little writing desk. Nice little couch. Decanter over there on the table next to the writing desk. Very nicely furnished. There's a bedroom, it looks like, probably for a married couple. So I see a lady's dress there and a uniform on the bed. So, pie. No, it's fake, but pie sounds good. Weapon stand over there. I can hear a bee or something buzzing around in here. Beautiful doors. This is so well done. There's another bedroom. This is part of the junior officers' quarters. Mosquito net. And just imagine living how they used to live. No AC. No heat. Well, they've got heat, so they would stay warm, but it would be hot as heck. The saber. So many buildings to explore. I like this old wooden sidewalk. I don't know if everything's open or not. It doesn't look like this building is. That's okay. There's a lot to look at. Yeah, it's roped off. On to the next. Here we go. Let's check this place out. We're riding in the sandstone. Pretty sure this is sandstone. (1928). Oh, here's one. Tom Malini, May 1878. Wow. Let's go in, guys, and take a look at this place. This area. Okay, we'll go start back to our left again. So, more elbow room. Okay, look, we got checkerboard. Some moose antlers. Saber laying across the top there. It says one way for single lieutenants to get more living space was sharing their quarters. These two lieutenant quarters are set up as two single lieutenants sharing their rooms. One room is a parlor and dining room, the other is a bedroom. Wow. Oh, check out that jacket, coat. Probably made out of buckskin. What about this? Here's the relaxing on the plains. Look at that. Got a piano in here. Very nice couch. This was Captain Dangerfield Parker, 3rd Infantry. Alright, check. 2 rooms. So this was the room that the 2 lieutenants would share. Like, forgot what the cap was called that they had, that they would wear. Yeah, cartridge belts. Over here, it's like a cavalry Stetson. Very cool. Saber. Not bad, you got a roomie. There's some riding boots. That trunk is really cool. Then over here, that bed sits up quite high compared to the other ones. That canteen sitting on top of his foot locker, or his saber. Of course, his riding hat. It's like this, they shared this. This was shared with the wife. And yeah, another parlor. Got a buffalo head up there. Wow. He didn't have a lot of room, but at least it was his own. Another lieutenant's quarters. I have a lot of wasps flying around. He's got quite the arsenal of weapons. Sitting over there, we got a stuffed white owl. Another Stetson cavalry hat. Yeah, look, right there. It's pretty neat. Another lieutenant's quarters. More muskets or rifles over there. And I'm going to leave now because the Wasp are setting up shop in this building. Oh man, check out this old stagecoach wagon. This is cool. Can you imagine traveling across the Santa Fe Trail or going across the west in these? Not the most, it's better than walking, but still probably not the most comfortable ride for long periods of time. Oh, there's an actual covered wagon over here. It's probably a supply wagon that they used. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like touching history. So cool. Oh, you can smell the uniforms in here. So this would be the quartermaster room. Troops would come here to get their equipment, get their uniforms, hats, boots, bedding. Got some lanterns up there. How neat. I think most of these uniforms are all made of wool. Can you imagine? Right now, I think it's about 87 degrees here. Can you imagine in the summer? 87 degrees and wearing all wool. I know that they got used to it, but they're just I can't fathom it, but it's like this might have been the stables or supply. And this is the quartermaster warehouse. Some caskets. Bunch of rope. Okay. Nails. It's like chairs, tents. Brooms. See how these are cut out slits for shooting if they were ever under attack. A lot of those gun ports. I guess they're gun ports, gun slits. Got lamp oil, boiled linseed oil. Oh. Sweet oil. These barrels are so cool. Oh, these wood. These old wood burning stoves or coal burning. But since I don't think there's not a lot of wood here, I wonder if they used like buffalo chips, cow chips to burn. Some old wagons. That's a big wagon. That was a huge. Here's a hospital or wagon. So neat. I'm gonna check this building out. Look how tall the windows are, or maybe just how short the building is. It's really interesting. Let's go in and check this out. Oh, this is where they would keep the munitions. Okay. Manufactured June 25th, 1867. Ball cartridges, model 1865 for Spencer carbine. What are these for? Colt Army revolver, 44 caliber. Spencer carbine caliber 50. Here we have a couple of cannons with the casemates on the back. Not sure. I'm not a artillery expert by any means, so I'm not sure what size these would be. But still, pretty neat to see. Maybe it'll tell me. Number 110, 1863. .223. Really not sure. Oh, some old targets. Here's some ramrods. Oh, wagon wheels, or probably wheels for the artillery, for the cannons. What is this? What this was used for. Oh, check out the beams here. As far as I know, most of these structures are original. Oh, these are old crates. Springfield breech loading rifle musket. 1866. Sauerkraut, molasses. Looks like where they would keep their food or provisions. Got some hams hanging up there. Some potatoes. Wow. What else do we? Can't really see those the canned foods back there very well, what they are. Malt. What was that, flour? Choice flour. Clarks. Or is that Clarksville, Missouri? Salt bacon. Pickles. Cornmeal. Ground cinnamon. Crushed green tea. Commissary warehouse. I think that there's some saddlebags, some cartridge bags maybe. That's what those are. Hanging up over there. The rifles. And the muskets. I hear looks like we have a church here. Let's go check it out. Okay, maybe it's not the church. Maybe it was a prison. I'm not sure. There's a ball and chain, a shackle. Not sure what they keep in here. Yep, not quite sure what is living down in there. Part of me wants to look. The other part of me is like, no, don't look. And it's just, look at that old padlock. Like there is, I have no idea what's down there. It's all right. Yeah, so we're here at the cemetery of Fort Larned. It says it's dedicated to the soldiers who died while serving their country at Fort Larned, Kansas, 1859 to 1878. In 1888, remains were relocated from the Post Cemetery to Fort Leavenworth National Cemetery, Section B, where they were not identified among the men who perished at or near Fort Larned, and whose remains may now be buried at Fort Leavenworth. It gives a list of different names that the soldiers that are buried now at Fort Leavenworth. Like we have George W. Baker, Private, Charles B. Backus, Sergeant, Patrick Mullally, Corporal. It says, in addition to the above soldiers, others who are unknown remain here along with 40 civilians who perished at or near Fort Larned. Little Heart, a Cheyenne brave, is the only known Indian to perish at Fort Larned. Let's go here and take a look at some of these headstones. It looks like they're all blank headstones. I mean, they're wooden, so they wouldn't have wore out. They would have lasted a while. So we don't know
who is exactly buried here that didn't get transferred. So, original monument erected in 1867 by soldiers in the 3rd Infantry to honor fellow soldiers who lost their lives at the fort. After Fort Larned was closed in 1878, the monument was moved to the Larned Cemetery in 1887. In 2009, it was returned to the site of the original Fort Larned Cemetery. While some of the original inscriptions have been lost, much of the following can still be made out. J.B. McIntyre, Colonel, U.S. Army, died at Fort Larned, Kansas, May 9, 1867, was one of the officers of extra duty, maintained the honor of his country gallantly during the days of the recent rebellion. It's kind of hard to make out there. We can see a good view of the fort. Old Glory waving in the wind. A bakery. This looks like maybe where the baker would sleep. The ovens. Here's where they would carpentry, saddlery, I can't say that word, and wheelwright shop. Anyway, they fix saddles here. And woodworking, wagons. Here's the surgeon's office and pharmacy. Wow. There's all the medicine bottles. Wonder what kind of medicine they have. Well, there's a... Wish I could get closer to it, but... Surgery kit. Hospital bed, linens, here would have been the hospital ward. Old set of crutches. These beds look a little bit bigger than the other ones. Than what I would think a normal hospital bed would be. Hospital area is pretty big. Oh, well, newspaper. Harper's Weekly, Newark, Saturday, June 8th, 1867. Check that out. This old rocking chair. It's pretty neat. This is literally like stepping back into time. When you have to go. Look at that. Indoor plumbing right there. It's like you sit down and did your business. I'm not sure where it went. Okay, so you do your business and then you would shovel some dirt in afterwards. Okay. You can definitely tell these windows are original. Look at the I'm going to call it rippling, but well, they're not like smooth. The glass isn't smooth like we know it. It's kind of hard to tell maybe on camera. Some fire buckets. Oh, here we go. This is the enlisted men's barracks. There must be a clock around the corner because I hear ticking. Wow. Not too shabby. Not too shabby of barracks. See all their uniforms hung up over there. All their weapons, rifles along the wall. They've done, this place is really amazing. I'm wondering if this is where they, yeah, this is where the sergeant or the NCO, non-commissioned officer, would stay, where they would both stay in here. Again, some more rifles, got a writing desk. It's hard to see. Can't really zoom in without getting the glare. It's like where they would eat chow. Okay. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, that does it here at Fort Larned, Kansas. Such a neat place to come to. And if you guys really enjoyed this, all right, guys, that does it here at Fort Larned, Kansas. What an awesome place to come see. It's like stepping back into time. And if you guys enjoyed this content, please hit that like button to help this video out and hit that subscribe button to keep up with future videos. And as always, keep exploring. Have a good one.